I've had some mighty good times. The locals all know my name, but no one pays me no mind when they see me stumbling down. They say, don't mind him, that's just old baggy brown. But if I could ever learn to love and be loved, if I could ever learn to love and be loved, I might not let everybody down so much. Might as well be my profession, letting people down. Don't mind me, I'm just old baggy brown. Hear last call and pretend I'm fine. So they pour me a highball and send me on down the line. You know, I wish I wasn't baggy brown all the time. But if I could ever learn to love and be loved, might not let everybody down so much. Might as well be my profession, letting people down. Don't mind me, I'm just so baggy brown. Don't mind me, I'm just so baggy. Don't mind me, I'm just so baggy. I'm just old baggy brown.
Yeehaw! Good work. I snuck in on you.
What's that?
I said I snuck in on you.
You snuck in on me.
You're already.
Oh, I'm already playing, man. I'm just like beefing around, hot dog, dang it.
Jason Sain. He's from Texas. Call him the long, tall Texan sometimes. No, they don't call him that. Anyway, this is the C LaRose Medicine Show for Copper Run. Jason Sain's played there before.
A time or two, yes.
And loves the place. As a matter of fact, that's a little bit of there.
A bit of the taste of the good nectar from the place. Yep.
See there, he brought his own bottle. Now that's a fan of Copper Run when you bring your own stuff. Of course, I'm drinking there.
Actually, they gave me that bottle the first time I played there, man.
Did they really?
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And they are pretty nice people.
They are very nice and generous, all of those guys.
So, I'm reading this. I know Jason, but not this about Jason. You've been playing around Missouri for a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I moved to Missouri in '95 with the rock band from Texas, and those guys kind of slowly all petered out and moved back to the great state of Texas, and replaced them with other guys from here in the great state of Missouri, and kind of been here playing ever since, man. So.
Sweet. Yeah, first time I saw Jason, he was different than he is now.
You could say that, yeah. You could definitely say
Even though he was writing songs and singing songs and playing music and everything, his own original stuff, it was still a little bit different. So that's the way that goes. Well, what do you want to do first or foremost? Or
well, I mean, as far as foremost, I couldn't even tell you, but I figured first, since this is for Copper Run, I might as well do a tune from my band, The Foolhardy's debut album, Dames, Trains, and Texas Eyes Tell, called Mason Jar Blues.
I think that's perfect. Are you going to tell a story about that?
I will tell you a story about Mason Jar Blues.
You need to hear this story. It's good.
I guess first jar of real legitimate actual moonshine I ever got was from my godfather, Scott Coleman, and he had gotten it from a fella at work that he worked with or whatever that had him a still somewhere that he wasn't supposed to have, and anyhow, he brought me a big old mason jar of it one day, and I was at work or whatnot, and he's like, well, are you going to try it here or not? I'm like, well, yeah, sure, man, I'll do a shot, you know. Pour me a little shot in a Dixie cup and throw it back or whatever like that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good, man. I need to sip on a little bit more of that. So I grab my Dixie cup and I look, and the little wax lining from the inside of the paper cup is eaten up completely, gone. And I'm like, oh.
Maybe I better not.
I was like, I went in and took that second shot, and it was good as a slow night at work, because it was a fun night at work. You know?
Yeah.
So, but anyhow.
Are you going to tell on your grandpa?
Well, eventually I will. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. But I guess the actual song Mason Jar Blues, after he gave me the moonshine or whatever, and you know, Scott and I, we got to be, you know, closer and closer, and I guess I finally got to an age where we could sit and do things that men do, like sit and, you know, sip bourbon and smoke cigars and stuff like that. And he's like, man, you need to write me a whiskey song sometime. And I was like, man, I'll do you a better one than that. I'll write you a corn whiskey song. And so this is the song that happened. It went through a couple versions before it got here, but this is it, man. So Mason Jar Blues.
All right.
Well, if I could tell you just how sorry I have been for the things that I've done wrong, well, I would still be apologizing when the good Lord called me home. But you know darn well that I never cheated you. What you done gonna get, I done gonna caught up with you. Got me drinking homemade moonshine from the mason jar again. Crying all night 'cause my baby gone and done it again. And that time won't kill the hurt, and I know the liquor can. I'm drinking homemade moonshine from the mason jar again. When you tried to tell me there meant nothing to you, well, understand that the apple only meant something to me. But now you're crying and apologizing when all I've ever wanted is you and me. It's got me drinking homemade moonshine from the mason jar again. Crying all night 'cause my baby gone and done it again. And this time won't kill the hurt, and I know the liquor can. I'm drinking homemade moonshine from the mason jar again. Got me drinking homemade moonshine from the mason jar again. Crying all night 'cause my baby gone and done it again and again and again and again. But this time won't kill the hurt, and I know corn liquor can. Drinking homemade moonshine from the mason jar again. I'm drinking homemade moonshine from the mason jar again.
Oh,
Yeehaw, man.
Slick licks. You're getting good at that stuff, dude.
Well, I'm trying, man. I've been working at it a little bit.
Well, it shows.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I guess asked about my grandpa or whatever, so I'll go ahead and I'll tell my moonshine story about him, man.
Cool.
The next song here I'm gonna do is also off of Dame Train's Texas I Still. It's called "The Rust on the Wire," and a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I kind of was starting to experience country music again for the first time in a great many years. You know, I always enjoyed it, always loved bluegrass, always loved old time country. You know, I've always loved Hank Sr. and all that stuff. But
yeah.
I just kind of wanted to get a little bit more serious about it, and I kind of went through a moment where it was like, you know, I may love rock and roll, and I may love reggae, I may love hip-hop, all this other types of music, but, you know, I wasn't born in Brooklyn, I wasn't born in Jamaica, and I might love the blues, I wasn't born in the Mississippi Delta, where I was born is the Panhandle of Texas, and what comes from there, you know, sometimes you gotta just breathe the air you were born to, you know, sometimes you gotta accept what you are, and I realized that, you know, country singer-songwriters come from the Panhandle of Texas, more of them than I can sit here and name off the top
Oh,
of my
yeah.
head, you know.
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought, well, that's something that I kind of want to re-experience. So I went back and spent a week and a half around my family and everything like that, and kind of, you know, around my mom and my pops, and we went out to the family farm or whatever, and I spent, my mother's family owns, roughly 500 acres or whatever there in Texas,
cool.
and, big spread there. That's actually, we own a little piece of the Salt Fork of the Red River and whatnot. And
all right.
so I just went back and spent a little bit of time out there and was, looking at watching all the fence posts and all the barbed wire and the rust on it, and the property there was actually built by my great-grandpa on her side, and her dad. They built the place for my granddad and my grandmother when they got married or whatnot. And I just started thinking about, how many years had passed since all that, and how many stories that barbed wire actually had to tell.
Yeah.
And so I kind of, started talking a little bit more about this, and I guess maybe because at that point I was finally not a kid anymore or whatnot, and I'm coming back and showing interest in the family history. Well, they start telling me stories about the family that they don't tell you when you're 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I kind of I learned a few things about my grandpa on my dad's side. I guess I'd known my whole life, he's a guitar picker and an entertainer and stuff, and, played the little local barn dances and stuff like that, as well as, made his primary living as a farmer, but in Collinsworth County and Childress County and that kind of area right in there or whatnot, he was kind of one of their local guys, when they'd have the big barn dance, he'd be up there picking and whatnot, and, but the story they told me that I didn't realize is, I said, well, your grandpa had a seal in the cellar, and I was like, nah. He's like, yeah. He's like, you just tell the story about he's down there one day working on the steel, and he's getting one of those real key moments in the process or whatnot, where everything is kind of the make or break point. Everything's getting ready to boil, and about this time my grandma comes running downstairs, is like, Daddy, revenue's coming. He's like, oh man, so he jumps up and runs up the stairs, kind of closes the cellar and whatnot, and the revenuer pulls up or whatnot, and the revenuer just, my grandpa was kind of local cut up, everybody loved him, wasn't coming to bust his steel, probably didn't even know he had a steel, he was just coming to, basically, shoot the breeze with my grandpa or whatever like that, and so they sit there, and they're sitting there on top of that cellar, just jawing away or whatever, swapping lies and whatnot, and the whole time in the back of my grandpa's mind, he's sitting there thinking, he's like, this cellar's fixing to blow up right underneath us, man. And we're fixing to have a world of problems. He sits there and visits with the revenuer for a while, and finally the revenuer says, well, Otho, I reckon I better move on down the line, man. I'll see you later there. And he jumps off in his truck or whatever, and heads on down the road or whatnot. Well, Grandpa jumps up and runs right back down there to the cellar to check that fire, and miraculously the fire had gone out.
Cool.
And so I'm like, man, what other stories don't I know? And so they started telling me a whole mess of other stuff that I never even remotely would have ever pictured. And out of that trip and all these stories and stuff, this next song, The Rust on the Wire, came out.
Cool. Otho.
Yep.
Your grandpa.
My grandpa, yes sir.
Sweet.
Rust on the wire displays its edge like an old moon dog. But it's still surviving outside on the range its whole life long. surviving, and life's on my terms without any care. Claim it's enough to prove that it's rough and tough enough for the light to see. Petrified fence post, my great-granddaddy stuck in the ground. Well, most are still standing strong, like they say he did when he was around. Rust on the wire, like the lines on my face. Displaying age, displaying grace. Received by an act of faith and displayed through the ages and
Sweet. And that's on your trains, Dave?
Yeah, that's on Dame's Trains Texas Size Tales, which is on iTunes, Amazons, all those places.
It is
so.
on iTunes?
Yes, sir. It's on iTunes, Amazon. I mean, I think it's pretty much anywhere that they sell music online for the most part. Where I know it's on. So you can listen to it probably for free on Spotify, but it's out there. So.
So you've been here in Branson since '95?
Yes, sir. I guess I moved out here from Texas to go to college of the Ozarks. Majored
really?
Yep, majored in religion and philosophy.
I did not know that.
And didn't just miss finishing my degree because my rock band at the time, they kind of started off, playing a few gigs here in Springfield, and then Springfield turned into Springfield and St. Louis, so, then turned into Springfield, St. Louis, Kansas City, so, then I suddenly have to, maybe I need to, it's like we got a Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night gig, so maybe I need to cut Friday classes, and Friday classes turned into cutting Thursday, Friday classes, turned into cutting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday classes, and next thing I knew I was going to be a rock star when I grew up, and realized with a philosophy degree, all you can really do is think deep thoughts about being unemployed, so.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm sure you know the story, or probably had a similar one in your youth.
Yeah, well, my dad used to call my guitar my starvation box.
Your starvation box?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are you doing with that starvation box, boy?
Yeah. Well, trying to eat.
He was just trying to save me.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a musician.
Yeah. Well, my old man put a guitar in my hand too, but he gave me the same kind of story once or twice too. I mean, that's what dads do. And try to make men out of their sons.
Yeah. So what else is happening here?
Oh man, let's see here. I guess we can
I
talk.
know you've written, what, 120 or something? Boxes?
Yeah, like, you know, roughly somewhere, you know, like somewhere in there in the last, I guess I started, I've been writing songs since I was 16 years old, but about 10 years ago, I decided, you know what, I want to really get serious about this and really learn the craft. I guess in my head, I started to reason, you know, if you can learn to build a house a piece at a time, you can learn to build a song a piece at a time. And granted, there may not be, you know, there may be a million different ways to build a house, a million different ways to build a song.
Yeah.
But there are certain universal forms and structures within things that kind of, you know, give you a little bit of head start. And so I started getting real serious about that about a decade ago, and since then I've consistently been writing. And in that time I've probably written, you know, a little over 120, 130 songs, something like that, that I thought were good enough to keep around anyway, or you know, at least keep in the notebook.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I guess we talked enough about Texas. How to do a song about the great state of Texas. You know, so.
Oh, Rock on the Wire is very popular from what I hear.
That's
a lot of people really love that song.
The people that enjoy what I do with the Fool Hearted and everything like that. That's the folks that have actually bought the album. Most of them, you know, they get a chance to tell me that's by far, I think, you know, the favorite track on the album of everybody that gets to really listen to the record a lot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And as a songwriter, I got to admit that's one of the ones I'm a little more proud of than other ones, you know.
Yeah.
But this next one I like too. This here is called "Head Back to Texas," and I guess the song is pretty much in itself. You know, I mean, I've been, you know, here in Missouri and all over, you know, whatever, for the last almost 20 years now, I guess. Holy cow, man, to really say that out loud. And that whole time, you know, my family's been consistently, you know, 500 or more miles away and whatnot. And so kind of in a homesick moment, you know, was thinking about, well, you know, what about heading back to Texas? And then really kind of just slapped me in the face, like, well, man, what would I do if I went back there? I know I don't want to be a farmer. As much as I respect farmers and will do anything to support, you know, farmers and their causes, you know, the part of the world I'm from, that's one of the few options you really have, you know. And so, anyhow, this song was born out of that. It's called "Head Back to Texas."
Cool.
Like it's heading back to Texas. What would I do? You can't farm for a living, so farm and do. But I got me some acres with no mortgage due. Well, I could build me a cabin, try and trap my own food. Good righteous living, but a lonely one too. Well, I could head back to Texas, but then what was I do? Well, I could head back to Texas. Tell me what for. You can't farm for a living, you'll go dead broke for sure. But I could pick with my kinfolk out on the front porch, and my folks, well, ain't so young anymore. Just ain't nothing back there that I ain't seen before. Well, I could head back to Texas, you could tell me what for. heading back to Texas, but I can't tell you why. You can't farm for a living in a climate so dry. But I've known most of the county for all of my life, and I've ate at the diners probably 1,000 times. I guess I was born there to make a fine place to die. Well, I could head back to Texas, just can't tell you why. I just head back to Texas, I just can't tell you why.
Cool. It's very nice.
Thank you, sir.
I think that about Arizona all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I love the West and Southwest.
There's something different about it than everywhere else, you know.
Yeah, you can see.
That's true, man.
Wake up in the morning, look out your door,
Yeah,
and see
see
for
where
miles.
you're going. Yeah, exactly. No, that's absolutely
Makes
true.
you think you can breathe the same way. It's all, man. Yeah, you're right. There's almost all of my favorite songwriters came out of Texas.
Oh man, I mean, I can sit here and name my top 3 or 4, like Towns Van Zandt, Guy Clark, Lyle Lovett, Steve Earle. I mean, there's so many of them that that I grew up idolizing or whatever, and eventually at some point I kind of realized, it's like, man, that's the part of the world I was born to, and sometimes you just gotta accept what you are,
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of times it's hard to do that. It's hard to go, yeah, well, this is what I am. The same thing like for me, because basically I was born and raised in Cochise County, Arizona, and it's a little rough down there.
Yeah, right.
They think a little differently.
Sure.
But mostly what they think is, like I posted this thing today about my mom taught me keep your own doorstep clean. And that's the way they feel about each other. It's like, if you're not in my business, I'm good. But if you get up on my grill and everything, then we're going to have some issues. If you just let me be, I'm good to go.
And that sounds like there's a song in that, keep your own doorstep clean.
Well, as a matter of fact, I am writing one about a lot of the things, that my mom taught me.
Good, very good, man.
That's one of them. And she used to say, we'd be driving down the street and she'd say things like, there but for the grace of God go I. And I used to go, what are you talking about, man? She was Baptist. As a matter of fact, she was born in Temple, Texas.
Oh, yeah, right on.
Yep. And her dad used to pick cotton there for a while, and then the Depression hit, and they headed west from there. But, yeah, she had some pretty funny stories about growing up and everything. And that's probably why I'm so drawn to Texas, because that's where my mom was from, and her sensibilities and everything were Texan. My dad was an Irishman.
All right. Well, we love the Irish too, so.
Yeah, and they got some good stories even about the Irish in Arizona. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if they're Irish. Blanchett. No, I don't think they're Irish. Copper Run Distillery. That's the place where we're getting this. There you go. Shine. First legal distillery in Missouri since, I was going to remember that, 1929 maybe or something like that. I'll look it up. But anyway, and then Jason Sain, the Missouri Long Tall Texan singer-songwriter. You want that freshened up?
Oh man, it's freshened up. But if you got some ice around here or something like that, I could probably stand a little bit more, man.
So go do it, man.
All right.
I'm gonna exit and get this fresh for you.
I guess I'll do another number here off Dame Strange Texas Size Tale. This song here is called One Glass of Wine.
Yay!
And it is another crowd favorite. Small one-horse town is on Matilda Avenue. She was born on the banks of that old red clay river one June. spring rains had ended and the wheat crops were soon coming due, she'd had all she could take, so she set out to find something new. She had one glass of wine, then she said goodbye, and set out to start a new life. Girls like Matilda always tend to land on their feet. She started out waiting tables, so she knew she'd have something to eat. And after working through college by getting a beauty degree, she was book smart and look good, ready to take anything. She had one glass of wine, then she said goodbye, and set out to start a new life. First met Matilda when she was about 23, and soon we were sweethearts, but I always knew she'd outgrow me. And when the spring rains had ended and the wheat crops were soon coming due, glass of wine, then she said goodbye, and set out to start a new life. One glass of wine, then she said goodbye, and set out to start a new life.
Pretty fancy with that pick, dude.
Been working at it a little bit, man. And it's a little bit different, too, whenever I ain't got a bunch of hot shot pickers sitting around me to actually make me sound really good. Then I gotta actually play more than like cowboy chords tonight, you know? So, what you gonna do?
Yeah. You just do what you do, man. And you're doing it really well.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, let's see here. What should we do next? I guess we'll do this song here. This is another one off Dame's Trains, Texas I Still folks seem to like a lot. The song's called Weekends. I wrote this with my little brother.
Really?
Yeah, I wrote this with my little brother.
Where's he?
He is a math professor at a small junior college in Texas.
Cool.
Yeah, he's extremely intelligent. Has his PhD out of Berkeley, and whenever he was younger, well, I mean like really little, like 3 and 4. I can kind of remember thinking back and wondering a little bit if maybe he was a little bit slower than some other folks were. And when he got into school, within just no time at all, it was kind of pointed out, like, he's not slower than everybody. He's actually smarter than everybody in the room.
Yeah.
And they realized he had a genuine world-class aptitude for mathematics. And so his gifted and talented teacher said, well, a lot of people that have an aptitude in math will also have an aptitude in music, and everybody in our tiny little community knows that my dad's family is extremely musical, and said, so there's a really good chance that he might be very musical. And so when he was 5 years old, they put him into traditional classical piano lessons, and he's been a classically trained pianist from you know, the time he was 5 until, you know, he graduated high school or whatever
Wow.
like that. And he's, as much as I hate to admit it, a much stronger musician than I am. Like if I ever need to find the weird augmented ninth chord or something, it's like he's who I call to say, what note do I add for this, you know, or whatever. But I wrote this song with him and whatnot one Sunday morning, and anyhow, it goes something like that.
Well, not to be mean to your brother.
Yes, sir.
But you know there is a saying: those that can do, and those that can't teach.
You know, here's the thing with my little
and you're
brother.
doing it, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it, but the thing with my little brother, like where he teaches and whatnot, and he honestly could do anything in the world he wants. You know, I mean, I used to jokingly refer to him as
I got one of those.
My rocket scientist little brother, until one day he looks at me, he's like, dude, I've got way more education than a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, fair enough, buddy. So I don't call him that anymore.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he is passionate about teaching.
Yeah.
I mean, he could, you know, I'm sure he could make substantial amounts of money, you know, working for a big financial corp and everything, the way that he understands numbers and whatnot. And you know, the big financial corps love hiring mathematic PhDs, you know, and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's passionate about teaching, and for years, that's really all he's ever wanted to do.
Sweet.
And so,
good for him.
While they may say those that can do and those that can't teach, well, there is one thing that teachers can do, and teachers make a goddamn difference.
Oh yeah.
And that's what my little brother does, and that's and I'm very proud of him for that.
I was speaking specifically with music.
Oh, no, fair enough.
You're doing it.
Yeah, fair enough, man. And one of these days I'll
That's why I was trying to preface it by going, I'm not trying to be mean to your brother.
No, I know.
You're doing it.
Fair enough, man.
I got a brother like that.
Yeah.
He's so intelligent, it's just silly.
Yep.
He's got more degrees than anybody I've ever known in my whole life.
Than a thermometer.
Geophysics, you know. Yeah,
right.
He's created computer programs and built computers and worked for the EPA and worked for everybody in the world. And he still loves going to school.
Yeah, no, that's,
you know,
that's
what he loves doing.
That's kind of how my little brother is too. I mean, he's, you know,
and people like you and I did it different.
That's right.
We go out and get beat up and keep playing that starvation box.
Playing that starvation box. Well, what it really comes down to is, at the end of the day, is you just are what you are.
Oh yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of, you know, a lot of, I guess, your environment maybe has to do with developing certain aptitudes and whatnot. But at the end of the day, man, we really are just kind of what we are. You know?
I had a brother-in-law once that was out. He could walk up to an engine, pop the hood, listen to it. Give me a screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
Fix it. He was doing that one day for me, and he says, "Man, I wish I could play banjo like you do." And I said, "Yeah, well, I wish I could tune an engine like you."
Right,
yeah, dude, there ain't nothing fancy about me, you know. Somebody can walk up to an engine and listen to it and know what to do about it.
Yeah, that's practical, man.
Oh yeah, that's beyond me.
Well, anyhow, like I said, I wrote this tune here with my little brother, man. It's called Weekends. Ain't nothing like a sunny Sunday morning. To keep you from getting the blues. Helps you forget all about last night. You still had something to lose. Ain't it funny that with my feet still on the ground, my head is in the clouds and I'm not coming down, at least not for now. Like a funky freaky Friday, go out and tie one on. And if you're really all that lucky, you won't remember what you done with my feet still on the ground. My head is in the clouds and I'm not coming down. At least not for now. At least not for now. Oh, if I could ever learn to shake these country blues, I might not sit round here forever. I'd find something to do. Well, ain't nothing like a sweaty sultry Saturday to make you want to stay inside, rolling around under the covers. Now I'll tell you that's the lie, but ain't it funny? But with my feet still on the ground, my head is in the clouds and I'm not coming down. At least not for now. At least not for now. For now. My head is in the clouds.
Whew. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you don't mind me doing this. I just thought of something.
What's that? I don't mind at all. That's funny. There we go.
This is the band Jason used to be in. Let me see if I can get that in there. That be him years ago. And then that's Seth, my son. Is that, who's the other guitar player? And that is Cheryl's son, Travis, Heavy T Gates.
Yep. The other guitar player there is that is Mark Barlow. He moved with me out here he's from Childress, Texas, and
that's Mark Barlow from Childress, Texas.
Yeah. And last I heard, he's still back there with his family, and he runs his family farm now.
Did he work at
Springfield
Music for a while?
years? Yeah, I believe he even ended up being the manager there for a year or two.
Yep.
No, real cool guy, man.
Bought a couple of things from Mark, or talked to him about it maybe next week. Seemed like a pretty good guy.
Yeah, he's good people, man.
Put that down. Now that I got that out of the way. So, from So Far Gone to Jason Sain and the Foolhardy.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's a trip.
Quite a bit different, man.
And then, now, to Copper Run. Hey, toast Copper Run.
Here's the Copper Run, man.
Here's the Copper Run. Jason Sain, C LaRose Medicine Show. We're going to be doing this a whole bunch, and you're going to like it.
Count on it.
What else we got going on here? This guy's got more songs than Carter's has pills.
Oh, man.
That shows you how old I am.
I'll say, man. Oh, let's see. Well, you brought up So Far Gone, man, which is kind of like a rap metal band, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or at least I guess that was. We covered a variety of rock and roll sounds in the 10 years that we were together, but I guess the album that we put out, Green County, was predominantly pretty funky, pretty heavy, and definitely kind of rap metal. And
you guys spent a lot of time on the road with that thing.
Yeah, well, we did. I mean, we spent 10 years working that, right? 10 years out there, working with that band, and a lot of it was predominantly just off of what we did with Green County, man. We sold a lot of those records in the pre-internet days, If the world had been what it is now, then that story might have ended a lot different.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and Heavy T, Travis he's in the Foolhardy, right?
Yeah, Travis and I, Heavy T, he and I have still been playing music together. I guess this year we'll make officially, come October, will be 19 years he and I have been playing music together.
Sweet.
Man. So cool. He's I jokingly refer to him as my heterosexual life mate. You know? He hates it when I call him that, but he's not in the room, so get away with it. But anyway, speaking of, I guess, the rap metal end of it or whatever like that, I have been writing a lot here recently with the young fella here in town by the name of Russell Willoughby, or he's kind of has written predominantly in the past in like the hip hop and R&B genres and stuff like that. And he goes by the moniker Trip with 2 P's. But anyway, this song he and I wrote together here.
Recently?
Yeah, very recently, man. So this one's still hot off the press. You know that you better not hold on. You better not touch it. So here we go. I guess this is probably the first time I've played this really for anybody anywhere outside of the writing room. So
cool. Well, this will be copyright time.
Yeah. The song here is called "Two Birds of a Feather That Don't Flock Together." Well, birdie, since you flew the coop, I've been flying with the crowd of your crowd. Getting drunker than a skunk at night, smoking cigarette butts up off the ground. Birdie, when you flew away, I reckon there weren't nothing much better to do. You're gonna be out pecking around, well, I might as well do a little bit of pecking too. And we'll be two birds of a feather that don't flock together. We broke up 'cause we were different. These days we're more alike than ever. And we could never get over ourselves and each other and learn it's better to say never ever. We'd be two birds of a feather that know better than to flock together. Well, Birdie, we all know you don't like me out there flocking around, strutting my feathers like a bright peacock, rocking with every little chickadee in town. Oh, Birdie, you know I play that game here mighty well, and there's a hen or two with a roofing of you I can nest with for a spell. And we'll be two birds of a feather that don't flock together. We broke up 'cause we were different. These days we're more alike than ever. And we could never get over ourselves and each other and learn it's better to say never ever. Never, never, ever. Two birds of a feather that know better than to flock together. We'll be two birds of a feather that know better than to flock together.
Out flocking around,
Out flocking around, man. You gotta love the English language for stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, God, man.
Poetic licenses are wonderful.
Man, the turn of a good phrase is what makes it worth getting up in the morning for me, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the Texans are good for that.
Well, you know,
Texans can make things rhyme and...
You know, man, I put a lot of thought into that. You know, it's like, why did all these songwriters come from Texas? And the cool thing was, and I guess in my theory, anyway, to me, the best songwriters, you know, a lot of times write in metaphors and similes and stuff like that. And Texans, just as a people, naturally speak in metaphors. Everything's as big as something or like something or as far as something else, and, you know, everything is spoken in metaphors and similes. And so, just in the fact that you normally grow up speaking that way, it turns into I guess it breeds songwriters.
Yeah.
Is what it eventually ends up doing. So
harder than a $2 pistol.
Harder than a $2 pistol. Exactly, man. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeehaw, man.
All right, man.
Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Do this little number right here, man. This is another song off Dame Strain's Texas Size Tale. And the title of the song, it has one of my favorite and one of the greatest Texans of all time, would be the Lone Ranger.
Cool.
Which I'm actually proud to sit here and throw in a little bit of my family history. I'm distantly related to the Parker clan or whatnot that had a great amount to do with settling Texas. And Colonel James Parker was one of the original captains of the guard of the original regiment of Texas Rangers.
Oh, cool.
And he would be, if I figured it out right, I think he would be like, going back generations, he would be like my 7th or 8th uncle removed, something like that. His daughter, Cynthia Ann Parker, or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't his daughter, it was his niece, Cynthia Ann Parker, was kidnapped at the age of 7 by the Comanche Indians and was raised in captivity and not brought back to the family for some 20-odd years or whatnot. Really? Ended up marrying a chief and had children with the chief, and the most famous of those was Quanah Parker, who was actually the last Comanche Indian to actually bring the Comanches off of the warpath and onto the reservation. And he had a big part to do with the negotiations with the American government and finally getting the Comanche Indians to settle down. And for those of you that don't know a lot about Native American history and whatnot, the Comanches really dominated the Texas plains. It took seriously 500 years to kind of break up their whole little nation.
Do you know where that they've got a place up there where they've got a plaque up talking about the Comanche and everything?
A lot of
you know where that is?
A lot of that's probably, if I was guessing, would be. I know there's a lot of things about that all around Canyon, Texas, which is where I was actually born, which is right there by Paladura Canyon, and that's actually where Quanah and all them were kind of like hiding out or whatnot whenever they finally got taken off the warpath at the end. Whenever he finally kind of realized, Quanah finally had a moment where he realized he's like, this is just a losing battle.
Yeah. All we're doing is killing ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. It's better to die an old man on the reservation than to die a young man on the plains, and that's it's a shame. It really is a shame. They're amazing people. The greatest horsemen, the greatest cavalry of all time are the Comanche Indians. I encourage anybody out there to research it. There's a great book on the topic that I believe they're making a movie out of called Empire of the Summer Moon, and it's fantastic. You guys should check it out.
When I was out in Arizona doing that thing for Seth, there's at DeGracia's art gallery there in Tucson. He was at least part Yaqui. I'm not real sure about Ted DeGracia, but he was at least part Yaqui Indian. And he always has and always will have, he's dead now, but they have a Yaqui that's the groundskeeper for his art gallery out there, his place that he built. He built that whole place by himself. It's all adobe. It's absolutely gorgeous. And there was a guy out there, the groundskeeper, that I don't know him well, but I knew him for the week I was there. We talked to him. He'd start a fire every morning and everything. And the guy was just phenomenal. A really great human being. But he happens to be one of those that, because the Yaqui actually came from northern Mexico down in Sonora. And so Mexicans don't like the Yaquis. The Yaquis don't like the Mexicans. Right. And the Americans don't like either one of them. Right. So it's like, but in the real world, it created a really incredible human being, because he realizes it's all a joke.
Right.
It's like, who are you trying to kid? I drink water and I eat food and I do all the same stuff you do.
Exactly.
But that whole experience with him out there, just for the week I was there talking to him every day, those are the things I miss about Arizona. It's that same old thing. It's like, you leave my business alone and I'll leave your business alone. But this is where I'm coming from. I'm just a person just like you.
What did you say? Sweep your own doorstep?
Keep your own doorstep.
Keep your own doorstep.
You betcha. That's great. And I was raised with that mindset, and those people, as far as I'm aware, like in Texas, are the same way. It's like, I sold some horses one time to a guy from Texas. He came all the way from, I believe, Austin. And they're the only, besides when I was playing here, Texans tip well. They tip in cash. The guy that bought my horses, I charged him $1,200 for these horses. He came out and saw them, and he says, "Yeah, I'll take them." I said, "Well, I want $1,200 for them." He goes, "Okay." And he started reaching in his pocket, $1,200 cash. I'm going, holy moly! But my experience is the way Texans are. It's like, here's the deal. I'm doing this. I'm buying your horses. Here's your money. We're done.
Right.
It ain't a check. It ain't something you got to wait on. It's like, okay, the deal's done. Bring in my trailer, load up my horses, and I'll see you later. Thanks.
Well, he was kind of always put to me, or whatever, my old man. He was kind of like, well, my son, writing checks is just kind of emasculating. And it's like, I was like, well, I don't have any money on me, but if you'll call these people, they'll take care of it.
Exactly.
Not, you know, and I guess it took to carve out, you know, a living in the Texas Panhandle 100 years ago. It took a different kind of, took a above average man, you know. It took a big man and a tough guy that wasn't going to take anything off nobody, and so, and the people that are still there to this day are you know, basically their descendants. It's, you know.
And that's what amazed me out there and talking to Javier was, it's like, a lot of people they go to Arizona now, Texas, to snowbirds, and they go there for vacations, nice and warm and real pretty and everything, but it's like, losing the Native American history is a shame, because think about what those people had to be like to survive in those places when it was originally settled and everything, and they depended on themselves.
Like, you know, I mean, I sit there and really even just think about myself, you know, or if go back and spend a little bit of time on just my family's farm, you know, out there, that 500-acre spread or whatever that they've got, and I just try to imagine what it was like carving, carving the roads, carving out a living out there, you know,
and surviving, eating and sleeping and building houses.
It really makes me glad I was born when I was born. I don't
think, you would. You'd have done whatever you had to do.
I guess, you know, people are resilient. They adapt to their environment.
But you're real thankful for those that came before you, because it's like, man, you made my life a piece of cake.
Exactly, man. We all stand on the shoulders of the giants that precede us, man, and that's mighty. Made it a lot easier on us, you know.
It's amazing.
Anyway, here we go, man. Back to this song here is called "The Lone Ranger's a Legend."
I'm going to turn him loose. I'm going to go outside and smoke because I'm a bad person. Thank you, Jason.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Tim. It always turns out the same. Still lie by your side in my dreams at night. Well, that's why I can still find some shut-eye at times. And the bed I bought for the girl I loved before you came along. And just like hers, the promises you made, they turned out all wrong, and you'll get what she got, a bunch of drunken nights and done me wrong song, while I lie next to some new girl that just feels wrong. It always turns out the same. The Lone Ranger always rides away. No happy ending at the end of most days. The Lone Ranger always rides away. Well, sometimes I still cry because it just seems that I always find that guys that leave, and guys that get left, and guys that be just your friends. But I'm still here, and we don't hang, so I guess it shows what I am, and I didn't really want to be just your friend. It always turns out the same. Lone Ranger always rides away. There's no happy ending at the end of most days. The Lone Ranger always rides away. guys that leave and guys that get left, and I know what I am, so please, just try and love me for as long as you can. It always turns out the same. The Lone Ranger always rides away. There's no happy ending at the end of most days. The Lone Ranger always rides away. He just hides his face.
Lone Ranger, Jason Sain.
Yeehaw!
I'm loving that stuff.
Thank you, sir.
You know, the C LaRose Medicine Show is all about songwriters. And Jason has become a pretty phenomenal songwriter. He does a lot of really nice stuff. So, local songwriters, like Copper Run is a local distillery. And that's kind of what we're all about, is hyping people that make their own way, do their own stuff, write their own songs, and
carve their own path.
Yeah, exactly. So carve another path, dude.
Alrighty, man.
Don't think about it, just do it.
Just do it. Here we go, man.
No thinking.
One of my big mentors of all time is a fellow up in Springfield by the name of Lou Whitney. He produced Dames, Trains, and Texas Size Tale. He even produced Green County, So Far Gone, the rock albums, and everything I've done. I've worked with Lou for nearly 20 years, and you know, love him as a surrogate uncle or whatever.
How's he doing?
You know, I've heard he's got some health issues and stuff like that at the moment. I don't want to talk about that a whole lot because I don't know how public he's wanting to do, but you might keep him in your prayers, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyhow, he one time said something to me that that's actually what I ended up naming the album Dames, Trains, and Texas Size Tales based on. He basically gave me some advice. He's like, you know, kid, there's only two kind of songs. There's boy-girl songs and train songs. And that's it, you know. And so that's where Dames, Trains, and Texas Size Tales kind of came from. But anyhow, this here's definitely a Dame song, man. So here we go.
Cool.
It ain't Alicia that makes me drink all night and day. It wasn't Allison who made my life turn out this way. There ain't an alibi that I'm willing to take. Well, ain't something, ain't nothing, ain't it all a grand mistake? A grand mistake, a great big grand mistake. The love we had back then, the love I now can't shake. Although I know it's wrong to not go on, Lord, it's hard when it's your heart that breaks. Nothing, ain't it something, ain't it all a grand mistake? Oh, ain't it something to watch a man drink to death? Well, ain't it nothing when it ain't him but the liquor she left? And ain't it awful to sweep up the shards of love and war when it's your own heart that breaks. Well, ain't it something? Ain't it nothing? Ain't it all a grand mistake? A grand mistake. A grand mistake. A great big grand mistake. The love we had back then, the love I now can't shake. Although I know it's wrong to not go on, Lord, it's hard when it's your heart that breaks. Well, ain't it something? Ain't it nothing? Ain't it all a grand mistake? And ain't it awful to sweep up the shards of love and war when it's your own heart that breaks? Well, ain't it something? Ain't it nothing? Ain't it all a grand mistake?
Yes, it is.
It is.
It is indeed. Good song.
Yes, sir.
Well, in the weeks to come, I'm hoping to get, and I wanted to apologize to Barrick in Hill. He has a songwriter sing up in Springfield. I think his is once a month too, and it's a very good day. We're not that far apart, Branson and Springfield, but Barrick is the one that started this kind of thing as far as I know, and he holds them up there once a month, and I apologize for breaking into his time because they're having one tonight. And actually, Brandon Moore is up there, and I want to have Brandon come in and do that because he's a good songwriter, and he actually is a distiller out at Copper Run.
Copper Run, yes, sir.
And Brandon's phenomenal. He's got a group, Shotgun Brothers, but I'll have him come in on his own because he's a hoot. I think he was part of Barefoot Revolution, wasn't he?
Was he?
Back in the day? I'm pretty sure.
Man, I probably went to 1,500 at Barefoot shows. I didn't ever put that together that he was one of those guys, man.
I'm pretty sure.
It makes sense, man. I mean, I could see that.
And then they left and went to Colorado, right? Barefoot Revolution.
That's a good question, man.
I think they did about the time I bought my house up there in Springfield. They were just getting ready to. But anyway, Brandon Moore. And then I think up next week will be Travelers Pete, who's our local songwriter, singer. And Pete's, well, you'll love Pete. Pete's a good songwriter and very interesting character. And I'd also like to have, Shannon Stein is a phenomenal picker. She plays very well. She's a very, very good songwriter. I don't know if I'll be able to get her, but we'll see who I can stuff in here. But week after week, we'll be having different songwriters come in and do things. I might even do something myself since I'm a songwriter.
You better, man.
Other than that, Copper Run, C LaRose Medicine Show, because ultimately I want to take the C LaRose Medicine Show on the road, so to speak, and involve all of the different songwriters doing their own little segments of everything so that you get an overall view of what good singer-songwriters we've got in this area in the Ozark Hills and so on and so forth. So that's what you can expect. I think next week is Prablus Pete. I've already talked to him, and he said, yeah, he's willing to come in and do that. Copper Run likes Prablus. He's done some pretty cool stuff out there. And he's a very interesting character. You're going to want to keep him. Not that Jason isn't interesting, but Prablus Pete's a different kind of interesting.
Yeah. He's really good at putting truths down on paper, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's as good as anybody.
Yeah, he is.
Speaking of great songwriters, man, I'll go on and play this next song here. I write a lot with a very talented young lady that based here in town off and on quite a bit, named Michelle McBride. I wrote this next tune with her.
Oh, cool.
And another fellow by the name of Jeremy Worton, who He's a professional bass player. He does toured with. He's been in Neil McCoy's band. He plays. I think he was with Lloyd Morgan for a spell. Can't remember exactly who he's with these days or whatnot. But he's based out of Nashville or whatever. And anytime the three of us can get together and drink some whiskey, we usually come up with a song or two. And
cool.
Anyhow, this is what one of the songs that came out of there, out of one of those sessions. This is called the Queen Lot 17. Rock, half under broke, and she was just a little girl. Behind the bar, swinging drinks, helping old boys sing, and held a head bottom on their shoes. But when the sun goes down, well, she loves to dance with the glow of a pole in her hand. Every cowboy's dream, folks around here just call her the Queen. The Queen of Lot 17. Where her palace resides, the Queen of Cheyenne in a halter top. The boys holler when she walks by. But she ain't got no time for men. Hell, she's got no man and no time for him. Every cowboy's dream, folks around here just call her the Queen. The Queen of Lot 17. There's been many a boy that got turned into men in the arms of Cheyenne's Queen. And I am just another one of them. More broken-hearted fools you always see. Shave her tips and move down south, start herself a brand new life. There, she won't know what to do, so she'll find another pole and get 5 months off of you too. Every cowboy's dream, soon folks they'll call her the Queen. It just won't be the Queen of Lot 17. It's our ode to the very overlooked part of the working class, that small town strippers everywhere.
That's right.
You know.
That reminds me, a friend of mine, Stewie, Bruce Stewart, he's in Montana now. He moved back to Montana, but he wrote a song that was pretty sweet about his wife, girlfriend. I'm not sure if they're married. But anyway, it's called Carhartt Queen.
Carhartt Queen, there.
Yeah, which is pretty sweet because she gets out and cuts wood with him and all that kind of stuff, wearing her Carhartt. She's the Carhartt Queen.
Carhartt Queen, man. There you go, man. That's pretty good. I guess that song kind of got birthed out of the story Jeremy told us. Well, I guess when he was touring with Neil McCoy or whatnot, they were in Cheyenne or whatnot, and ended up having a fun night with a young lady there in Cheyenne, and when they dropped her back off at her trailer that evening, or at the trailer park, it was lot 17, you know. And so they go up there to drop her off, and this big old burly guy, man, in overalls without a shirt on, answers the door, and they're all worried that they're about to just, get whipped something silly, and he just says, "Well, what the hell she do this time?" Like from then on, the stories she lived on is the Queen of Lot 17, and then
what'd she do this time?
What'd she do this time? So.
Oh yeah. Teddy May, songwriter, bass player, plays fiddle, plays guitar. She just brought my guitar back. I'm going to have her in here with some of her friends. And she actually was in Dirt Road Delight. Dirt Road Delight that did the music for Winter's Bone, the movie. And she's Dirt Road Delight. She's very, very, very good, and we'll be able to get her in here.
Anybody that hadn't heard that soundtrack needs to check it out too.
Yeah.
It's something special.
Yeah, and she's seriously local. She graduated from Branson High School too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. She's just a sweetheart.
Yeah, I love Teddy to death. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's play another number here. Something that is called "Don't Go to West Virginia." West Virginia to see if I ever could get sane. But all I found was heartache and misery, bleeding the hills all around. And it's a lonesome line, the company train rolls down, making money but always losing time. You're better off standing out in plain sight and trying to run without a fight. So don't you go to West Virginia trying to outrun your pain. The miner's country, there's sadness that'll leave you standing in the rain. My love went down to West Virginia, see if the devil had claimed my soul. And when they found her lifeless body, her mom and daddy blame me both, I know. And it's a lonesome line, the county train rolls down, making money but always losing kind. Better off standing out in plain sight and trying to run without a fight. Don't you go to West Virginia trying to outrun your pain. The miner's country, there's narrow sadness that'll leave you standing in the rain.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think I'm going to have a little refill.
You might as well, sir.
Copper
Help
Run.
yourself. Copper Run, it's good stuff.
Moonshine. Sunshine. I can't wait till I play that song. I wrote a song for them.
Yeah?
I got sunshine. I got moonshine. I got my girl walking hand in hand.
Sounds like good, man. I can't wait to hear it.
I gotta play banjo, and I don't know where my banjo is right now. Okay, man, well,
Alrighty, man.
you want to do a couple more?
Yeah, I'll do a couple more. I'll do one here. I wrote this song here with my older cousin Jeb. Like I said, my big part of my family's all pickers and grinners and whatnot. And I got a cousin. He's a couple years older than I am or whatnot. And whenever he graduated from high school, one of his aunts gave him, on the other side of the family, gave him a big book full of country music songs because he'd been learning to play guitar a little bit, and of course his dad is a guitar picker as well and everything, been learning to play some, and so we pull out this book one night and we start singing these songs and stuff together and whatnot, and everybody starts telling us that, oh boy, you boys sound pretty good. I guess we kind of halfway believed them. And so anyway, then I suddenly started wanting to get a lot more serious about my own guitar playing at that point. I guess I got my first guitar at roughly about the age of 9 or whatever. Or my first serious one. I mean, I've had, I guess I've had a guitar. I guess I had an aunt that bought me my first playable guitar when I was like 3 for Christmas. But first serious one whenever I was about 9 or whatever, my old man bought for me from a garage sale or whatnot. But it was after, it wasn't until I was about 16, a few years later or whatever, that whenever my older cousin Jeb started getting serious about guitar picking, that I did too. And Jeb, pretty much from day one, man, started writing songs. You know, I don't know what possessed him to. He just write songs, and I think the reason I probably became a songwriter as much as anything has to do with the fact that he did it whenever I was first really starting to get serious about music in general, and because nobody ever told me it was hard or something that I shouldn't or couldn't be able to do.
Yep.
And, you know, never occurred to me that it's like, man, that might be kind of tough. I don't know if I wanted to try that or not, you know, but anyhow.
Where else would you learn to play a guitar unless you're going to write songs, man?
So, you know, and still even to this day, you know, whenever we get together, that's what he and I like to do is we'll, you know, ironically enough, lock ourselves in one of the mini bathrooms in my parents' house or whatever, and we'll write songs. And
the best therapy in the world.
It really is. And
writing your soul.
Yeah. It was actually the weekend we were together for my grandmother's funeral that we wrote this particular song right here. And you know, we were sitting around. He's telling me the story about how he met the gal that became his wife or whatnot. I guess they worked together at Domino's Pizza, and one night he's giving her a ride home from work or whatever like that, and you know, it was like the first night he's giving her a ride home from work or whatever like that, you know, and so he's driving home, and there's a possum that starts running across the road, you know, and so he thought to himself, you know, he's like, you know, he didn't swerve to hit the possum or whatever, but he said he just kind of followed it with his headlights a little bit just to get that, and she jumped over and was, you know, next thing you knew, she was sitting right by him, and she had that little, you know, girly freak out moment that we men love to, you know, they're there for whatever. And you know, this was right after I'd gone through my second divorce or whatever, and in my experience, divorces are pretty good for songwriting, you know. So anyhow, it hit me. I was like, well, man, if I'd known that all there was to keeping a woman was to kill her a possum, you know, man, I might not have. My life story might be a lot different, you know. And
yeah.
He started laughing, and I started laughing. Next thing you know, we came up with this song. So it goes a little something like this, man. This here's a story about how to make true love last through the ages, as they do it in the Panhandle of Texas. Well, if you want to impress a woman, you gotta kill a possum. And if you do that much, man, she'll think you're awesome. Pick a possum, one that's good and mean. And if you do that much, she'll wear your wedding ring. Well, Cousin Jeff killed a possum on his first date, and his little loving wife adored him more every single day. Wish I'd known about the power of possum meat. Maybe one of my wives would still be in love with me. But if you want to impress a woman, you gotta kill a possum. Kill a possum. And if you do that much, man, I swear she'll think you're awesome. Pick a possum, one that's good and mean. And if you do that much, she'll wear your wedding ring. There was this time that I once killed a cat, but the woman I was with, she didn't want no part of that. She slapped me in the face and called me a jerk. Well, I bet if there's a possum, well, hell, it might have worked. Well, if you want to impress a woman, you gotta kill a possum. And if you do that much, man, I swear she'll think you're awesome. Pick a possum, one that's good and mean. And if you do that much, she'll wear your wedding ring. Now pick a possum that's walking on the side of the road. He's a big fat one, well, that'll make him nice and slow. But as long as he's a meanin', well, man, he'll probably do. And the woman of your dreams will fall in love with you. If you want to impress a woman, you gotta kill a possum. And if you do that much, man, I swear she'll say you're freaking awesome. Pick possum, one that's good at Maine. And if you do that much, they'll wear your wedding ring.
Yes, you will. So is it possum or armadillos that they call Texas speed bumps?
Probably armadillos that they call it. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, armadillo is the state animal of Texas. That Mockingbird is the state bird, and armadillo is the state mascot. But it wouldn't surprise me if they don't call
speed bumps.
Speed bumps.
Texas speed bumps. They are pretty thick.
Yes, they are. That they are. And whiny little boogers and awful mean.
Yeah.
You find yourself a possum that's as mean as an armadillo, you're gonna get you a woman. So.
It'd be kind of hard. She'll think you're awesome if you kill an armadillo. That doesn't work either. So. Possum's much better.
I'll do another fairly new one here that I wrote. Is the one that I was kind of playing with when we first opened up. I wrote this in again with my good buddy Russell Willoughby, or Trip with Two P's. This song here is about a homeless guy we just kind of named, that we decided to name Baggy Brown, and Baggy Brown is, everybody knows a Baggy Brown. I don't want to name any names or anything like that, but there's definitely a Baggy Brown in this town that everybody in this whole town knows. And so, and I always think of this fella whenever when I'm singing this song. But he's just, anyhow, it goes something like this. You passed by me before when I'm bumming through town. And my worn out shoes, and my hand-me-downs, with a death in a brown bag that I most likely found on the ground. Don't mind me, I'm just old Baggy Brown. Now I've been here a while, since back in '88. I've had some mighty good times. The locals all know my name, and no one pays me no mind when they see me stumbling down. They say, don't mind him, that's just old Baggy Brown. But if I could ever learn to love and be loved, I might not let everybody down so much. Might as well be my profession, letting people down. Say, don't mind me, I'm just old Baggy Brown. Last call and pretend I'm fine. So they pour me a highball and send me on down the line. You know, I wish I wasn't Baggy Brown all the time. But if I could ever learn to love and be loved, I might not let everybody down so much. Might as well be my profession, letting people down. They say, don't mind me, that's just old Baggy Brown. Might as well be my profession, letting people down. Don't mind me, it's just old Baggy Brown. They say, don't mind me, it's just old Baggy Brown. They say, don't mind me, it's just old Baggy Brown.
Sweet.
Thank you, sir.
To Baggy Brown.
Here's the Baggy Browns everywhere.
And Jason Sain. And I think we're going to call it a night for tonight. Thank to Jason for being the guinea pig.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Tim.
And doing this, we'll go watch game footage and make improvements. And Jason, I'm sure, will come back, hopefully, with any luck.
Well, I'd love to come back, man. We've only scratched the surface on what I got.
That's what I'm saying. If you've written that many songs, we could do this for a very, very long time.
Absolutely.
That's
man.
cool. And next time, maybe you'll let me play with you.
Oh, man, I wish you'd have played with me this time, Tim.
Nah. I didn't want to do that.
You know you were always welcome to play with me, sir.
I know it.
I wouldn't have ever learned to finger pick if it wasn't for this fella right here. So. And he might still try to tell you I don't know how to finger pick, but I'm trying.
No. I would never say that. You're doing really well. I'm pretty impressed.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
So, for Copper Run, C LaRose Medicine Show, Timothy Critchley, and Mr. Jason Sain, we're going to call it quits, folks.
God bless you and good night.
Thank you very much. May you be in heaven.